What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another show of, one-on-one talk with your boy Pico Brown, Pico the City Brown, Pico City. It's all the same name. How everybody doing today? I want to thank you guys for joining in and listening. To those who's tuning in and those who are going to watch it later, I want to thank you guys in advance for watching it. But before we start, you already know the routine. Go on over there to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Go over to TikTok, follow me on TikTok, that's Pico City. YouTube is Pico the City Brown, one-on-one talk, and also the podcast PTSD. Those are two different shows. So both of those shows are on YouTube under the same platform. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Pico City. So there we go. I got it right. So I named the topic today Evil Women in Church. And it's a reason why I named it that today, because it's just crazy how it's going. Hey, Miss Wales, how you doing? Oh, I'm paying buddy. Let's go get some of them cookies they had. But I named the topic Evil Women in Church because I was on a friend of mine page. This guy page. And it's just crazy. When I saw it, oh, what the heck was that? But anyway, um, I was on a friend of mine page, and it was like, I was just scrolling through Facebook, blah blah blah, nothing spectacular, and I saw this post. There we go. This post he had on his page. It was called I think it was called, and you guys probably heard about it, but and the reason why I didn't put much on my page because I wanted to come in fresh with this situation. So before I start, I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, I did a little background search on it and research on it, but there's nothing about it not being true. But just because I'm saying that don't mean it's going to come out as being true. They probably can wait. They probably wait till later on and say, you know what, it's just a name and it's not true. But if it is, how about that? If it is true, it's like this. The name of it is called New Glow Baptist Church. So by me saying that, you're automatically going to think, well, it's a church. It could be Baptist or Pentecost, whatever. It's the name church in it. So New Glow Baptist Church. And the slogan is, come as you are, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. When the Lord said in the Bible, come as you are, he mean come as you are. But he didn't mean come as you are is what they was advertising in the New Glow Baptist Church. And it grabbed me and it took my attention, because when you say come as you are and people see what you're advertising at church, they're going to actually flood the church. Oh, what the heck is this? So I don't know. But the thing is this. The reason why I call it Evil Women in Church, because women do some pretty devious thing when it comes to church. One, you know what? I'm not going to even say anything. I'll just pull it up a little bit. And I want you to be the judge of it. So let me go. See, can I find it right quick? Okay. Oh, that's actually new. So, the name of the title is New Glow Baptist Church. New Glow Baptist Church. And this is what they're advertising in the church. So, y'all can see my phone, right? So this is what's been advertised in the church as the New Glow Baptist Church. Bam. And the list goes on. Take a look. See for yourself. That's an interview. I'm not going to play the interview. But these are the pictures that they're pretty much, So yes, what you see is what's been advertised at the New Glow Baptist Church. and the slogan is "Come as you are." But they took it to a whole nother platform. Now this church is pretty much, you can label this church is the women of the church, and these are grown women. They actually know better. These women are what considered, it's like they're selling sex, and they're whoring themselves, that they're being whores to the church or for the church. But when the Lord said, "Come as you are," he meant if somebody's homeless walking down the street, if a crackhead is walking down the street, or a depressed person's walking down the street, or a prostitute just come in walking off the street, or you don't know the knowledge of God and you come into church walking off the street, that's what he mean, come as you are. He didn't mean you have the right mind to do the right thing and you come into church dressing like a hooker. That don't mean that. So once again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I looked it up and I didn't see anything fake about it. The church is in Atlanta. So you can go pull it up on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So, so that's pretty much what's going on right about now. So my thing is this: you can do what you want. I can care less what you do, but you don't put you don't put the stamp of God on your wrongdoings or your evil things of what you're doing. God has nothing to do with that. You don't wear clothes that's appropriate for the women of the night, or lingerie and stuff like that, or that stuff should be shared between husband and wife. You don't bring that into a church. So, but yet all the pictures I saw, now I don't know if they're going to post more pictures, but all the pictures I saw, all the women are black. So what does that tell you? What does that tell people? Not all black women, I would never say all black women, but most black women will pretty much fall for anything sinful, just like a black man will. But I can't put it on a black man right about now because I didn't see any pictures of black men actually posing in attire or lingerie or nothing like that. So these are all black women. And yes, they did say some of the pictures were modified, they were AI, but still, modified or not, you do not do that when it comes to church. And to the brothers or anybody that was commenting on these posts saying, well, I'm finna go join church and man, the Lord is my shepherd, you know what I want. Dude, you got to be accountable for that too, because you don't supposed to mark church, real church. You don't supposed to mark it. Instead of brothers and sisters coming together and trying to be like, no, y'all can't do this, man. This ain't the way. People egg it on. Well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. The Lord, and they always say that the Lord said, come as you are. No, the Lord said, come as you are, but he didn't say come as a whore. Or just taking pictures in the church like that. And they said that's to bring people in the church. Now, this church is going to end up being packed to the fullest with guys, because women like this is leading guys on. And when you go into church like that, let's just be honest. If you go into a church like that, one, there's no word, there's no God in that church, period. So let's just be honest. But I'm just hear me out. If you go into a church like that, you ain't trying to hear nothing a preacher got to say, because you got oiled up boobs right next to you shouting. Man, now think about it. These women, they probably gonna start shouting. What happens when you see I'm not trying to down women or nothing like that, but what happens when you see a woman with big breasts and they're running? What's the first thing we see? You ain't even got to be a man to know that answer. Now imagine if they like that in church, shouting with tight clothes on like that. Imagine that. And we wonder why God don't help us. We wonder that every day. Oh, God this and God understand. No, God don't understand nothing like that. He don't understand nothing like that. Women are supposed to dress appropriate when you're in church. Even when you're out of church, you don't wear harlot's clothing. If you're representing the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one true God, I ain't talking about the rest of these pagan gods, I'm talking about the true God, the Alpha and the Omega, you cannot dress like that in church. Because now what you're doing, now suppose if somebody do wander in off the street looking for deliverance, and they see that, and they like what they see, and now they come into their church just because there's women half naked running around the church, and they like that, and they bring other guys, and they bring other guys, and they bring other guys, and all those women are accountable for those sins, man. I'm not saying that men don't have their own mind, but you shouldn't be selected anyway. That's why the Lord said, "Be partake of no man's sin." That means just because he said no man's sin, that goes for the women too. That goes for the women too. No, you can't do that when you in church. First of all, it's sin, it's wrong, and then what happens when the women and their babies come in? What you gonna say? This church is for 18 and older. And then they have something on the website. You can get pictures for $11.99 a month or something like that. Now, who in their right mind gonna want to join some filth like that? That's nothing but strippers and porn. Well, I ain't gonna say porn because I don't think about having sex. That's nothing but strippers in church, and they look like they're proud of doing it. They're proud because once again, in their eyes, the Lord said, "Well, hey, come as you are." That don't mean that's like me getting up and say, "I'm finna go to church." Oil my body down with some underwear and get in the car and go to a church and just sit down and cross my legs and just some underwear on. That don't make sense. So if we can't do it as men, how come women should get on a slap on the wrist? And some of the comments, the women was agreeing with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. The Lord did say, "Come as you are." Maybe these women need deliverance. How in God's green earth you gonna need deliverance and you walking into a church taking pictures like that? That's not deliverance. You pretty much know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. This is an abomination to the Lord. This is abomination to the black race. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not trying to argue with anybody. I'm just trying to be as respectful as I can. This is a abomination to the black race because out of all of those pictures, you didn't see not one Asian, you didn't see not one European. These are all black women. But then again, these are the same women that say men should protect us. Why in the heck would I protect somebody like that? And you playing with God, the one that can protect all of us. So no, whatever happens to you, it just happens to you. That's how I look at it. And those women be the main ones getting up and saying, "Well, where are all the good black men?" Or "Black men don't protect us," or "They treat us like this, they treat us like that." You dress up like a ghoul, you dress up like Halloween ghoul to try to get in your pants. That's anywhere you go. If you're not a hooker, why sell sex? Simple as that. Because pretty much, if you dressing like that, this ain't even got nothing to do with church right about now. If you're dressing like that, exploring your body and showing your breasts and stuff like that, and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna sell these pictures for $5 a month. You give me $10 a month. You can have access to my web page." That's nothing but all you're doing is a appropriate way for some people. Pretty much all you're doing is selling sex. They're no different from OnlyFans, Playboy girls, um, Pornhub, all the rest of these crazy websites and stuff like that. They're no different than the women that's on there. So they might well just branch off and do their own thing because you don't do stuff like that in God's house. You don't. Even if it's not considered to be God's house, people still look up to churches. People look up to churches all the time. Now imagine you going, your mom and your husband, your mama, your kids, y'all looking for a church. You say, "Oh, this okay, I'm gonna check this church out. I heard about it," but you don't know what's going on the inside of the church. You go up in the church and you open the door and you be like, and you look like, "What the world I just walked into?" And all the women got big breasts and they sitting down with little bitty skirts on and stuff, and they praise the Lord. Like, first of all, gee, I'm gonna be honest with you. You might not want to say that. I'm up out of here. "Oh no, sister, you don't understand. You don't understand, brother. We mean well. We just following the words of the Lord. He said, 'Come as you are.'" Anybody with common sense would be like, "He didn't mean it like that." That's why when you talk to black people, you have to be vain and you have to break down everything like a child. Well, not all black people. You have to break down things like a child because they'll take that one little verse and say, "Well, the Lord said, 'Come as you are.' So I came as I am." It don't mean that. You know how you're supposed to dress when you go into churches, just like I do. You don't have to wear a suit and tie. No, you don't. You don't have to wear a Sunday church dress. You can put on a decent dress and go to church. You can put on some slacks and a shirt and go to church for the man. But when you're exploiting your body, and that's going to draw attention to men, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So they're just as guilty as the the porn stars. They all in the same boat. You ask me. This is what happened when you don't know God and you want to play with something you don't know about. And they do all of that, and these women be looking for blessings. Then these women say, well, like I said earlier, I can't find a man. No, you can't find a man because, one, you're selling sex. That's why porn stars don't really get married like that. That's why nobody really dates strippers, because it's an ongoing symbol of things. They have to keep doing things to stay and work. And some people say, well, you know what? Some strippers say, well, you know what? I'm a stripper, but I don't sleep with men. Okay, that's fine. Brownie points for you. But guess what? You take your top off in front of men, so you might as well sleep with them. It's simple. It's real simple. But you know, us as black folk, we want to find every type of excuse to do wrong. Every type of excuse to do wrong. So this church, it really needs to be closed down. But we just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see what happens. But go, please, if you don't believe me, go to YouTube and type it in, New Glow Baptist Church. They got a page on Instagram. They got a page on Facebook. Go in there, type it in, New Glow Baptist Church. See for yourself. The pictures are ridiculous to represent church. And these are proud sisters showing their bodies off in church. First of all, that's crazy. That's just crazy as heck. But we just have to wait and see if it's actually a true church. But when I did my research on it, nobody said nothing about it being false. But they did say some of the pictures are AI. They Photoshop some of the pictures. But just the thought alone, you go into a church like that, and women are half dressed, and they say this is God's house because God said, come as you are. That's crazy. So it is what it is. I'm sorry, hold on a second, guys. My daughter. You love you too, baby. But it is what it is, man. We can't we can't run around this world and pretending that God is, I mean, he is forgiving. Don't get me wrong. He's way more forgiving than men are, and women are. But we can't run around and say, well, God will understand at the end of the day. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a man, or at the end of the day, I'm a woman. It's what's in what they say. Church got to be in the hard. Yes, it does. That's not a problem, but you got to understand what that means. If church isn't, you don't have to set foot in the church ever. If you're doing right by the Lord and keeping His laws and stuff, you're good. But you can't say I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit, and you half naked. And we see this on Facebook all the time, with YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that. Some women go to church half naked. Some women have their cleavage out that don't supposed to be out. That's too much cleavage to be in church. So if women dressing like this for years in church, and a preacher not saying anything, that can only two things can only come out of that. Well, more than two, but I'll name two. One, the preacher really don't care. He's getting all the money. And two, he's probably sleeping with the sisters. Let's just be honest about it. He's probably sleeping with the sisters. And that's the biggest mistake you can ever do if you claim you're a man of God. No, you don't do that, because all of them got the same excuse. Well, the Lord, He made me. He know I am. At the end of the day, I'm a man. So what? I'm a man too. If I'm claiming I'm working for the Lord, I can't be going around sleeping with all these women. If I got a wife, yes. Even if I don't have a wife, and I say I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit, the Lord ordained me to be a preacher. By me saying that, I took on the responsibility of saying, hey, I'm not married, so that means I can't have sex with none of y'all until I get married. So guess what? If a preacher have sex with a woman that's not his wife, he's just as bad as everybody else. So what we have to do is stop giving these preachers slaps on the back. because they're supposed to be a light to the world, but they're not. These men get corrupted too. But if you're walking with God, God's not going to let you go that far. So if they doing stuff like that, they're not walking with God, because God would have been there to stop them. But this is what happens when people don't believe in God. You fall for anything, yo. I don't know if this mic is. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, it's on. I'm sorry about that. So that's pretty much how that goes. We got to stop pretending so much that evil is good, man. And this is one church. Now, if this church succeed, it'll be one in Chicago, it'll be one in New York, it'll be one in LA, and the people are going to flock to these churches because you're giving men what they want to see. Half naked women. So where's God? God is like Superman right about now. He left. He ain't got nothing to do with these churches. Not all the churches. You still have churches down here that preach the word and try to get people on their best and try to get people into the pearly gates. But churches like this, we see them on TV all the time. No, preachers got these big old congregations, and um, I don't call them preachers. They're pretty much motivational speakers to me. Some of them say, "Well, hey, I ain't going to heaven, bro. You dummy. The money's no use in heaven." See, first of all, but people don't look at it like that. What you gonna do? Take a wallet full of money when you get to the pearly gates and God let you in? You gonna be buying stuff? No, anything earthly can't get in. Money's from earth. Money's an earthly thing, man made. So no, it won't go. They got all these expensive jets, and they ask one preacher, "Well, why you got this $4 million jet?" Well, I got to the jet. I got the jet because one, I can't fly in a public plane because there's demons on the plane. That's one stupid excuse. And another excuse was so I can get to the people faster and preach the word. That would make sense to some people. But then again, you got to look at it like this. The most holiest man ever walked was Jesus. He could have flew. You know, he's the son of God. He could have did anything he wanted to. He walked and gave the word. So that means you're more important than the man upstairs. Well, I'm not the man, the son of God. But these are the things that people flock to because evil, like I always say, evil is good. Evil is good. Women need to know their place in church, just like men need to know their place in church. There you go. It hasn't been recorded in the Bible yet that I've seen. That true, some scriptures are taken out. But we don't know what they took out. But all they left is pretty much women can't be preachers. They should be silent, learn in silence. Dude, now imagine if somebody found the real Bible and they looked through all the scriptures and the scriptures had nothing to do with women preaching. But when they said women are supposed to be preachers, women, you got to respect what these people wrote in the Bible. There's reasons why God used men, and there's reason why God used women. Two different missions. You didn't see those women in the biblical days trying to take over. Moses' wife, Zipporah, I forgot her name. She never stepped to him and said, "Well, you know what? You sit down. I got this." You know, Moses, the Lord came to me and told me to tell you to sit down. I'm finna go deliver these people. No, it's a respect thing. That's why everything is all out of place, man. All you have to do is take a look at the alternatives, man. Look how the world is going. Everything is out of place. Women are screwed. Men are screwed. Women want to be the lead. Men want to be the follower. It's all messed up now. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And to anybody that's out there listening, to all the women out there, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but this is law, man. This stuff this is tabernacle. You can't go against God's will and expecting God to bless you. It don't work like that. That goes for me too. I remember, hey, look, the proper order of things is God, Jesus, man, woman, child. First, second, third. Simple as that. I'm not counting out the sisters, but women really don't supposed to be in pulpit preaching. People can say what they want to say until somebody can find a Bible, and if the rest of the scriptures say that, then so be it. Hey, you know what? I was wrong. Such and such said this in the Bible. God laid on whoever's heart to put this in the Bible. Well, they can get up there and teach. But there's a reason he do things. Because when you're a preacher, you have to cut down people. You have to ridicule people. You got to make people hurt. And women are emotional creatures. That's probably why he didn't do it. Who knows? Nobody knows. But he got his ways of doing things. So it is what it is. But at the same time, you wonder why the world is in places they're in. Evil people. Now they got this whole new church with half naked women running around with boobs. All of them got double D boobs. And selling is pretty much selling sex. God ain't got nothing to do with these people. And I wish there was more people on his live to hear this, but he ain't got nothing to do with these people. He don't. And I will have words with anybody that can prove me wrong. Come as you are, to black people, we took it and ran. Y'all see it well, I ain't gonna say every day, but y'all see it just like I do. Women twerking in churches. The choir director, a woman, she's leading the choir and the instrumental part of the music coming. She's twerking, shaking her booty. But these are the women that say, where are all the good men? And how come this happened? How come that happened? People, I'm here to tell you, there's a consequence to everything you do. You got a bad consequence and you got a good consequence. It's simple as that. But we as people, brothers, we just sweep it under the rug. You don't supposed to have that stuff in the church. I was watching this clip. This was a long time ago, man. I think this when Facebook got popular. It was a while ago. But anyway, this this preacher was giving it. He was teaching a sermon, and he stopped the sermon. He just stopped it, and he told the man, "Sir, I told you before, you cannot come in here dressing like a woman." Then everybody jumped against that preacher. Why would you do this? See, the key word, what he said was before. So the man was coming dressing like a woman probably more than once. Okay, you come in the street. Okay, I said you want help, you want deliverance. Okay, that's fine. You coming in dressing like a woman. Okay, sit down, listen to the word. The next day, the common sense should tell you, I'm going to a house of worship. I can't come in here and worship that can't worship God, and God is against stuff like that. So that means I can't come in here no more. So he came back again, and he probably came back again, and he probably came back again. And so he like, man, you got to go. And they, it wasn't the people in the church, it was the comments on the post. People like, why? This and that, and people should be what they want to be. No, man, if you're a man, you can't come as a woman dressed in church, a real church. You can't do that. Because if you do it and the preacher don't get at you, God's going to get at the preacher. Because see, we already know what's in the Bible. We know these things, but people want to sugarfoot it and tell the story they way. They call them New Age Christians. New Age Christians are the worst people in the world, because New Age Christians go by the Bible and they go by sin at the same time. They compromise with each other. They say, hey, you can be a Christian and you also can be gay. It don't work like that, man. But people are comfortable with the skin they live in. Tell the people the truth. Hey, if you're going to be gay, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, be that. That's on you. But you can't be coming in churches trying to represent what you are. You can't do that. If so, go build your own church, but you can't use God's name in vain. So that's why God crossed every dot that could be possibly crossed, because there's no way out. There's no way out. Not for me, not for you, not for anybody. But it's just sad. It's just sad that all these women that's taking these pictures in New Globe Baptist Church, they're all black women. And that's the sad part about it. Why? Because they found you the word, the best thing somebody can do that want to do bad is give it to the weaker vessel. Women pretty much fall for anything. Not all women. Some you got some pretty strong sisters out here that ain't falling for it. I would never say all of them. But it's like the blind leading the blind. Ain't nobody gonna stand up and say, hey, this is wrong, man. We can't call it this. And just to bring people in the church. Oh, you know what? Hey, put this on, show your boobs, and men gonna come. Of course men gonna come because you offering men what they want to see. These men ain't going there to get deliverance. They'll say, well, yeah, I'm going to church and I'm trying to find God and stuff like that. No, they're looking at these women. Let's just be honest. These are sinners coming into a church. They're looking at women. So me personally, I don't want nothing to do with this church. But like I always say, don't take my word for it. Go pull it up on YouTube. Go pull it up on Instagram. New Glow Baptist Church. And the first picture gonna pop up is the woman that's showing her boobs. And their slogan is, hey, come as you are. Like I said before, they gonna take that little sentence, that little paragraph, that little phrase or whatever, and run with it. And run with it. And for the comments, people are okay with this. Men are okay with this. And I know it's a joke, but people like, man, I'm finna go join that church. A lot of men, I'm finna go join that church. Man, where do I sign up at? You don't do that because first of all, you don't even know what you're saying, man. You don't know what you're saying. So there you go. It's not me that degrade black women. Black women degrade black women. All I do is pinpoint where you're wrong at and try to fix yourself. But when I do it, somebody always there to tear you down. And I'm not trying to get off subject, but check this out. I had a show. I think it was last week or something like that. Well, probably, yeah, it was last week. And I was talking about masculine women. Masculine women. Show was going pretty good. So one of the young ladies I know, she came in. I'm not gonna say she was mad. She was just trying to get a point across, and I can respect that. But it's like every time I have a show like that about women, women come in and say, well, men do it too. I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about you. But yesterday, I did a show on toxic men. There was a couple of men in there. It was more women in my podcast yesterday than men. Not one of those brothers came in and said, well, women do it too. Why is that? Why? Because men accept accountability. In some cases, women accept accountability when it benefits them. They don't have to say that. We know what men do, but if I'm saying, hey, my name's Pico, and I'm finna do a show about women that don't listen. Women, blah, blah, y'all don't listen to this way, King. And somebody come and say, well, men do it too. I'm not talking about men. I'm talking about women. But every time I have a show about women, women got something to say, which is fine. But if you're going to say something that makes sense. But when we throw the men under the bus, only thing the man says, bro, you know what? You right, Pico. You right. You right, man. Man, brothers is crazy. Niggas is crazy. I was just watching a TikTok. And it's this young brother, he got a show. And they was talking about this girl cheated on her boyfriend. She got pregnant. He stayed with her, and he was like he wanted to raise the baby as his own. And people was calling him a bum, which pretty much he is, because that's something you just don't do. You don't raise another man's child if the child is in the woman's stomach. That's just disrespect right there. And so this guy called in. You know, he like, man, I got X amount of kids. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I'm 6'7", and I weigh 500 some pounds. Them dudes roasted the hell out of him. They roasted him. Call him, bro, you need to lose weight. You're fat. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And why you having all these kids and you bogus? And he like, this is what my daughters don't like because I pay more attention to this one. And they like, man, you can't do that. You an idiot. You does this. Then other man, get your life together. The only thing that man said was, you know what, bro? That's why I'm on the show, because I need help. Y'all right, man. I did the dummy. But women were calling in, snapping out, talking about how you gonna tell a man to not raise the baby if he want to. if you're a woman, any woman that's pregnant shouldn't want a man to take that role as a stepfather, and the baby is already in your stomach on the way by another man. That goes to show you how much respect women got for men. But I just wanted to say that. Men accept accountability. It's always when my nephew's talking, or my son, or my other nephew on PTSD, and we talk about men. You know, men, y'all idiots. Y'all need to stop doing this. Blah blah, this, that, and the other. And another example, when I was talking about toxic men yesterday, guess what? All those comments, which is fine. I appreciate the comments. I love y'all for them, but I'm not tagging. I'm not talking about the people that was in the show. I'm just saying. Nobody in those comments said, well, men do it too. No, I'm sorry. Women do it too. I was talking about toxic men. Nobody came in and said, well, you know, women are toxic too. Everybody had a comment, which is fine because we were talking about toxic men. And I agree with all the comments because they were right. There are toxic men in the world, but not one woman said, you know what? Men can't take the blame for it all. You got toxic women in relationships too that push on men to be toxic. Nobody said anything. Because just like I said, as men, we have to take it. We can't dish it out, but we have to take it. So I ask you, now who's the culprit?